Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Blitz block of Denver Startup Week. This is we've taken some of our small 10-minute talks and put a bunch of them together. And I am your DJ for the next 45 minutes, John Wilker, the headline and spotlight event track chair. So we will jump right in with our very first talk. Get rid of some of this stuff there. Extending your runway, smart scaling your business. Each of these is about 10 to 12-ish minutes. So we'll play each one and then I will come back.
Hello, and welcome to our founder track session, Extending Your Runway, Smart Scaling Your Business at Denver Startup Week 2020. That is 100% virtual this year. My name is Soshil Samuel, and during the next 10 minutes that we spend together, we'll cover how to extend, scale, and create incredible advantages for your business. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to get started with a segment called the 5-Minute MBA. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get to it. Over the next few minutes, we're going to cover costs, break-even, profit and loss, and all from a time and money perspective. So we're going to go ahead and set this thing up. And what you'll see on our horizontal x-axis is that set up as time. And on the Y to the sky vertical axis, that one's set up as money. So now let's go ahead and start adding some costs. The first types of costs that we're going to add are fixed costs. And you can see that we've got that nice constant line across our graph. You'll see that fixed costs are things like payroll, salaries, and monthly bills. However, the next type of costs that we're going to add are variable costs. And you'll see those are things like usage-based costs, licenses, commissions, and they're the kind of costs that as your business grows, these costs grow. So we'll go ahead and get that built in, and the combination of fixed and variable are our total costs, right? Pretty easy. So now that we've got that covered, let's go ahead and move on to revenue, also known as sales. And what you'll see here is, revenue is incredible. It's awesome. It's super important. As a matter of fact, it is so important that if you don't have revenue, if you don't have sales, you don't have a business. However, what you can see is when revenue is lower than your total costs, you're actually operating your business at a loss. And that is until you hit this wonderful break-even point. And now you can see once you get past break-even, you're operating your business at a profit. Well, that's what we wanted to do to really level set the variable costs, fixed costs, profit, loss, and revenue. See, it was all super simple. So we'll go ahead and move on to how we can start improving that business model. And we're going to start with hacking the fixed costs. And the sole point of doing that is to really pull in that break even and increase your profits. So that sounds good. Let's go ahead and get to it. Same scale here. What you'll see is the variable costs have increased pretty significantly, right? And you'll see the drivers for that are we've moved things like freelancers, gig, and fractional over into the variable costs. And what we've done is lowered the fixed costs by removing or reducing things like payroll and salaries. And what we're really trying to do is, as close as possible, limit those fixed costs to our monthly bills. So I think we all agree, we all can see that our total cost model looks a little bit different. Now let's add revenue and see what happens. Look at that. So you can see that really pulled in the break-even point on our timeline. We're achieving break-even much, much sooner. And we are significantly increasing our profit. So that's pretty cool. Now let's talk about scaling the business using the fixed and variable costs, specifically as it applies to expanding margins. As work moves from strategic, early, high skill types of functions to more of establishing process and systems, what you can do is you can start to move that type of work and the resources supporting it into lower cost fixed resources. You'll see we've taken some of that variable cost and moved it over to fixed. However, as your business grows and changes, of course, there's going to be new needs for higher skilled, strategic, expensive types of resources in new areas, but you'll want to bring them in as variable costs, right? And then over time, as they kind of work towards process and systems, you move them to fixed, and then you move in some new resources as variable. So that, hopefully that all makes sense. So that's how you scale your business. Now there are a couple of things that we definitely need to address there, right? I like to call it the dream and the nightmare of scaling. So you'll see here that the dream is really reaching a certain point and moving everything to fixed. And wow, it's awesome. It looks very, very tempting. Look at that dream of like how big that margin is really, really going to get when you just move everything over to fixed. However, as you'll see, when fixed resources are really pulled into some of the functions that are better suited for variable and more strategic and higher skilled and more senior types of resources, what that actually does is they get pulled out of their sweet spot of process and systems, and it gets very expensive, it gets bureaucratic, and it dramatically increases the fixed costs of your business, creating just an absolute nightmare situation for your margins. And now you don't have enough room to add in those variable costs. So you've got no choice but to cut, and to cut hard. And unfortunately, when you're cutting, you're going to end up cutting operational folks who are trying to do strategic stuff. So you're cutting both of those capabilities. The real key here is to avoid this scenario and address it if you're ever tempted by it. So now we are kind of moving on from scaling from a financial perspective and talk about some other advantages. So other advantages of scaling are leveraging the power of diversity. You have this flexibility, and you're going to be able to tap into diversity to really cover blind spots for yourself and for your team, you'll be able to do this really quickly. So we know diverse teams come, by adding as much ethnicity and gender diversity to really cover those blind spots. And this allows you to do it. It also allows you to tap in to senior level people, really experienced, mature, kind of executive type of people, if you will. We've got mature networks who have a ton of connections that they've earned over their careers. And you can get at them quickly and cost effectively. It's also very easy in this variable model, in the gig fractional model, to test those combinations and reconfigure and change and tailor them to work best for your business. So thanks for making it to the end of our time. Here are a few takeaways. You want to pull in your break even and extend your runway. Use freelancers, gig, and fractional for high cost, high scale, strategic. And when you standardize, move it to lower fixed cost resources. You also want to stack the deck with talent, right? In business, you want to create as many unfair advantages and stack the deck in a way that's going to give you the highest probability for success. Of course, we never want to be unethical. We want to do everything completely legal. But this model really allows you to do that. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, if you want to discuss anything further. Thanks, and have an awesome time at Denver Startup Week 2020.
All right. That was the first of our 3 Blitz block videos. Oops, let me switch back to me. Remove that one. We've got 2 more coming up. The next is TikTok, how to make great stuff for your brand that a teen wouldn't roll their eyes at. Having no children, I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming that everybody else will totally understand it. We will get that queued up right here. Hopefully everyone is having a very good time at Denver Startup Week. We had a fun first day. We've got a ton more stuff going on the rest of this week. And we've got one more Blitz video after this one. So stay tuned and I will start this one up.
Hi, my name is Jared Kleinstein. I am excited to talk to you guys in 10 minutes about TikTok and how to make cool stuff that teens wouldn't make fun of you for. So, little brief backstory on me. I run a production company here called Fresh Tape Media. I also in a previous life, ran sports partnerships for Vine, RIP, and I ran strategic partnerships for Streeties, which was acquired by Zillow in 2014. So why are we talking about TikTok at all? Well, it's where the eyeballs are. 800 million plus active users. They were the most downloaded app in the App Store last year. I think this year too. It's a young and diverse audience, and unlike previous misconceptions, it's not just kids dancing, in front of their phones anymore. It's a ton more content than that. So why for you as a brand or as an organization or company? Well, there's tons of opportunities for rapid social growth. We talked about the eyeballs, but if you really want to get scaled growth on a social platform right now and you do great on TikTok, it's your ticket to ride. There's also great revenue opportunities. Whether you're trying to promote a product or just trying to grow your brand, TikTok is where it's at. You'll see so many people buying products because they saw it on TikTok, going to a restaurant because they saw it on TikTok. So there's that. And then subjectively, if we're just talking about entertainment, personal perspective, it's wonderful. It's just the greatest app there is. It's a lot of fun, and that's why we're talking about it today. So 3 things we're trying to cover today. Number 1 is consumption, because if you're going to make something for TikTok, you have to know what works on TikTok. Number 2, creation, how to actually do the content creation on the app and get it done. And then 3rd, how to get as many eyeballs as possible through different distribution and growth tactics. So the very basics of content consumption, you'll see when you open up TikTok, there's 2 tabs at the top. Following, which is what you're probably used to from Instagram or any other platform. And then there's For You. For You is their algorithm saying, this is what we think you want to see. It's a combination of the people you already follow and other content on the platform. That is the gold mine. If you can get your content into the For You page, that's how you get the eyeballs. Next up, you'll notice little things above somebody's handle that have an effect. If you're just thinking to yourself, how'd they make that thing for TikTok? Well, this effects little nugget right there will tell you which effect they used. And what's really cool is if you click on it, you can actually use it yourself and see other people that have used that effect. Next, you'll notice a little spinning record. Music is key and audio is key for TikTok. When it comes to understanding why something popped, more often than not, it's because of the audio that was used. Unlike the past where people were saying, think about Instagram for audio off content, for TikTok, you're thinking about what you can make using audio. And then there's engaging with the content. You'll see there's the like, there's the comment, the share that's typical to other social platforms. TikTok has some unique features like the ability to save the video directly from within the platform because they really want you to spread the content. Then there's the duet feature, which lets you actually use somebody else's video next to your own. It's a great way to make a piece of unique content using something that you already know works. Okay, that's consumption basics. Let's talk about creation basics. When you're in the camera, well, look at that stellar individual smiling with a thumbs up. You'll see the basics. Everybody knows about how to use, a tap to hold camera within one of these apps. Then you'll see a couple different things, the effects and filters. Filters up on the right side and different things you can change like a timer and whatnot. And then that little effects icon on the bottom left, that's where you're gonna get all the crazy AI effects that they've built out. It's extraordinary what they've done. Then there's upload. If you have great stuff that worked on other platforms, you're probably going to want to upload it to TikTok directly. So that's how you're going to do it. Okay, we've covered the basics. Now let's talk about why you're actually here, what content works on the platform. Step number 1 is you have to know the audience. And that's like the oldest adage in the creation space is know your audience. But with this, it's really key to also know TikTok. You have to know the platform. The way you get to know it is to use it often. So get in the app, play with it. It's a rabbit hole you can fall in for hours and hours before you go to bed. But luckily, if you were convinced, I don't want to use it because I think that it's all like kids doing like the whoa and all that stuff, it's not just that. And the algorithm will get to know you based on what you like on the platform to show you the right kind of stuff. Step number 2, learn about the trends. When you open up the search page, you can see all the trending TikToks, and the hashtags that are trending. Check into them, fall into the rabbit holes of what each of them are, what kind of content is performing well within those channels. It's not always just influencers. It's more often than not just great and entertaining content. Notice which of them feel brand safe. If something is you should know or I learned this on TikTok, that's the kind of stuff that doesn't matter what company you are in the world, you can probably find a way to tie it into what you're doing. And then keep an eye out for brands. When you notice a brand that's doing something right, whether it's Washington Post, Puma, TNT, any kind of brands like that, see what they're doing and try to sort of feel out how they're getting their content into the trending hashtags. Step 3, save things. So when I say that, I'm not just saying like copy the link, put it into a Google Sheet. If you like content on TikTok, make sure to like it because that'll help your algorithm. And then it'll help you go in, as you see on that right side where my profile is. I go through my own likes all the time to see what I was entertained by. It's a great way to sort of bookmark things. And then if you like a song, add it to your favorites. If you liked an effect, add it to your favorites. Then when you're going back and trying to create something later on, you're like, what was that song? Oh, it was So Close by NOTD. I'm going to use that. So step 4 is dive deeper into trends. Like I already said, dive into them, but get deep. As Shrek said, ogres and TikTok is like onions. They have layers. And the TikTok layers is really what makes the platform special. A great example of this is that you'll see a trending meme or something that goes viral. And oftentimes the thing that's even more fun and feels more authentic to the platform is the second layer. So here's an example where you'll see somebody was making coffee latte art and you thought, oh my God, that's performing really well. So we created something for Puma that shows a different side of this. So, you know, how cool would it be if you could take the Puma logo and make latte art with it? It's going to be beautiful, right? Okay, so that got 6.4 million views and was one of the most popular videos that Puma's ever put out on social. It just shows that people aren't always trying to see that beautiful thing. They're trying to see one layer deeper in each trend. So, consumption recap to go through the things we've already talked about. Number 1, get to know TikTok. Use the platform often. It'll really help you out. Number 2, learn about the trends. Number 3, save things. And 4, dive deeper. That second layer is really where it's at. So creation-wise, number 1, don't reinvent the wheel. If you have stuff that was great on other platforms, it popped on Instagram, you already have it easily croppable for vertical, don't be afraid to use it on your TikTok channel. The easiest way to make something feel more TikTok is through things like the text overlays, using the fonts that TikTok uses in the app. By doing that, you're essentially saying to somebody, oh, I made this in TikTok, even if you published it on Instagram 2 years ago. There's also features like voiceovers and other things you can do that feel like authentic to the platform. Number 2, get familiar with the editing tools. You don't have to actually publish anything to play with the effects, to play with the camera, really get to know it. Whether, I'm not 100% sure about this, but TikTok algorithm likes when you use their app. They like when you use the features because it shows that you're really engaged with the platform. So you'll notice things, the more content you consume, the more you'll notice, oh, this feels super TikTok. And then you're like, how do I do that? Playing around with the editing tools will help you get there. Number 3, prioritizing audio. Using trending music is definitely going to help you get exposure for your content. And if you're concerned about copyright, prioritize user sounds over popular music. Step 4, show how it's made. For every piece of original content you make, you can do a BTS behind the scenes video that'll really help you get even more exposure for your content. It's essentially making killing 2 birds with one stone by making 2 videos about the same thing. Recap, don't reinvent the wheel, get to know the editing tools, prioritize audio, and show how it's made. For distribution, step 1, hashtags are important. Don't be afraid to put a ton of hashtags. This isn't Twitter where you need to be brief. Put as many as you can, and it'll help the algorithm. Number 2, as I mentioned, use trending audio. That's your best way to get into the For You page or FYP. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of distribution strategies right now. In general, I would just say focus on creating authentic content for the platform. It'll help you out. Shameless plug, my company, Fresh State Media, helps people out with TikTok content all the time. We run the TikTok for TBS Network. We do a lot for NBA, Puma, and a bunch of others. And we're here in Denver. So that's it. Thank you guys so much. Those are my social channels. It's been a blast. TikTok's a great platform. Don't be afraid that it's going to go away. It probably won't. It's going to be awesome for many, many years to come. Did I keep it to 10?
It definitely doesn't look like it's going away. It looks like Oracle will own them. So all you TikTokers are completely safe. We've got one Blitz talk left for the evening. That is not to say that there's not more stuff going on at Denver Startup Week. The opening, normally we call it the opening party. Today it's recess with some live music and a bunch of other fun stuff. That is going on as well. So when you're done here, make sure to hop over to that. All of the stuff that's going on is on the denverstartupweek.org website. And we've got stuff going on all day, every day for the next 4 days. And there's a ton of stuff. So we've got one more, Wow Every Zoom Room, which given the way we're delivering this week, this one is more timely than it would seem to be possible. But great talk on how to make the most out of being stuck in Zoom all day, which pretty much all of us are. So I will roll that and then be back to say goodbye and then see you all at future Blitz blocks.
93% of our communication is nonverbal, according to the author of Silent Messages. Your professional image is so important because your next client is watching you and deciding whether they want to know, like, and trust you. Hi, I'm Rhoda Johnson, founder of Rhoda Design Group Image Consulting Company. I am a Hollywood-trained image brand strategist and makeup artist with 40 years experience in the beauty and fashion industry. I left Hollywood to pursue my passion of elevating the professional image of business owners and C-suite professionals. Please join me in thanking the Denver Startup Week title sponsors, Downtown Denver Partnership, Zero, Prolodges, and Chase. Our founder track sponsor is Zestful. Your professional image is important because it sells your skills and work ethic to your clients for their business and their referrals. It establishes your reputation amongst your colleagues, which are your partners for client leads. It is so important to have a polished brand because studies show professionals with a polished image earn 20 to 30% more, and that's huge. What are your limited beliefs to professional image development? Often, business owners are so focused building and growing their businesses that they neglect themselves. In time, this results in health challenges and a compromised quality of life. Busy does not mean productive. I am a big advocate of self-care. It does not serve you to show up for virtual and in-person meetings looking exhausted and stressed. Your audience will question your competence. And how you do anything is how you do everything. The human mind is wired to make value judgments based on what it sees. We have a saying in the image consulting industry, your image is so distracting, I can't hear what you're saying. You only have one chance to make a first impression. And you never know when you'll be asked to hop on a Zoom call or meet in person at the last minute. I recommend get ready for your day every day to prepare you for surprise opportunities and expect them. There are many, many benefits to a polished professional image. When you see a polished professional staring back at you in the mirror, it increases your confidence, and it's reflected in your posture, your mood, the productivity, and the quality of your voice. Not to mention, it elevates the experience of the connection. You are your brand ambassador, and your image reflects the value of your business and your success mindset. When you invest in your professional image and align it with your brand message, you attract more business. And that's really important because you want to make sure that your image and your brand message are saying the same thing and in congruency. Your polished professional image attracts collaboration of like-minded professionals who value your commitment to excellence, which is what your polished brand will say about you. I had a TED Talk speaker and author invest in my professional image services, and it really paid off for her because Robin Roberts of the Good Morning America show saw her TED Talk, flew her to New York to be on the show. She has seen explosive growth in her business since. Your professional image must be consistent in all the ways that you are seen. Make sure that you have current headshots that are also in alignment with your business brand. It is powerful when you have a headshot that's in alignment because when you show up to do speaking engagements, there's no disconnect and you have instant credibility because a lot of people don't think to do that. There are many details in developing a professional image that is congruent with your brand message. You don't want your brand to say one thing and your image to say another, and I can't emphasize that enough. I invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn so I can support you with professional image content ongoing. Until October 20th, I am offering the Denver startup community a free 30-minute image discovery session. For details on how to sign up, go to rhodadesigngroup.com. Thank you for the opportunity to support you. I look forward to connecting with you. I hope you have much success.
All right. That wraps up the first of our Denver Startup Week Blitz blocks. We've got a ton of these nice little 10-minute sessions scattered throughout the week, with several of them being collected into these blocks. I will be back Wednesday morning, Thursday afternoon, and Friday morning with clumps of 3 and 4 other great Blitz talks. So check the DSW site schedule for those. Just search for Blitz and you'll find all of them, and you'll be able to see which ones are put together into a block. And have a great week. Make sure to enjoy and get the most out of it. And a huge thank you to our Denver Startup Week sponsors. And with that, go enjoy recess and our opening event.